Hey everybody, it's Shell, Sunbury Housewives. So today I am giving our bathroom counter here a little bit of a pick-me-up. And since we are on such a tight budget, we cannot afford to replace the vanity, the sink and everything. I am using this instant granite countertop film that looks like granite. Let's see. I got from Amazon. Unlike the regular contact paper, this is much wider. If you've seen my video on when I redid my vanity top, where I had to do two, I'm only going to need to do one layer, but I'll probably do it in sections because I'm gonna have to remove the, to get it really flush against the side, remove the caulking that's already on there. So what I'm gonna do to start is clean off the vanity because I don't know if you can see, it is a mess. Hopefully after it's completely done and I have a couple things DIYs that I'm going to do for in here, then it will stay clean. Fingers crossed. So stick with me as I go through and start to clean this, and let's get started. So here I'm just going ahead and cleaning up, removing everything off, and I'm removing the caulk that was there. And I need to give it a really good cleaning so that there's nothing, no debris or anything that is on the counter when I go to apply the contact paper. So here I'm going ahead and deciding which way that I want to put the contact paper. It does go long end to end, but it was just there and I wanted enough to be able to have some wiggle room. So then I decide to turn it around and go the other way. That way that I have plenty of extra just to play around with. This contact paper is much thicker than the typical contact paper that you would use for shelf lining. This is specifically for countertops. So now that I've got my piece cut, I'm going to go ahead and lay it down on top of the countertop. And I'm going to take the X-Acto knife and I'm going to cut where the sink is so that I can lay down the contact paper and make it easier for me to work around that. Here I'm cutting a piece off and I'm going to show you how thick this contact paper is. See the silver lining with the adhesive? What this allows is no matter what color your countertop actually is, will cover it so that you won't see that countertop popping up through your new countertop. But because this is so thick, you can see how it's bunched in the corner. So I'm gonna have to take my X-Acto knife and cut some of that off, that excess off, so that it's gonna be so much easier for me to work. Make sure that your X-Acto knife or straight edge is extremely sharp when you do this, but please be careful so you don't cut yourself. Now I'm just going to use scissors to cut off the extra in the back instead of using my X-Acto knife so that it'll go so much quicker. I'm going to start in the corner here and start to peel away the back. Now, it's usually easier to keep the back on and work as you go, peeling the back away. But make sure that you get the back completely off. Now, mine came with a squeegee. If yours does not, you can simply use a credit card and it'll work exactly the same. This allows you to get the bubbles out. And if for some reason you still have bubbles, this contact paper is removable, so you're able to pull it up and smooth it back down and get those air bubbles out. You're probably still going to have little teeny ones, but after a couple of days, those should settle down. So I'm just going to keep lifting up and smoothing out as I go along. You want to take your time and make sure to do this right. I'm grabbing my blow dryer now so that I can heat up those corners and edges to make it really stick well and stay put where I put them up underneath. Now I'm just working on the back and taking my time and making sure that I make very nice smooth transition along the sides and on the top. This was actually so easy. It takes time to make sure that you cover everything and cut your lines exact. Now I'm moving on to the DIY for the bathroom. I'm using the chalk paint and cashew. And I'm just going to give these mason jars a good couple of coats. And this dries super quick with being chalk paint. I'm not going all the way to the top because you're not going to see those anyway. Now I'm taking the Waverly chalk paint in Truffle, and I'm painting these 2 wood stars that came with a puzzle that I had used for a different DIY, and I'm just painting them brown. And these are going to be little tags that I hang off of 2 of the jars. One is going to say lotion and the other one is going to say soap. That way we know which is which when we go to wash our hands, because the jars look identical. I went ahead and attached to the bottom the tumbling tower blocks to make feet, and I put some jute string around the top. Then I added this little wire basket to put in to give height so that the mason jars sit up and you'll actually be able to see the mason jar. See how it just sits down and you barely can see it? I want to be able to see the mason jar. And here you can see where I attached a little hook at the top and wrote lotion on that one and soap on that one. I didn't need one for the toothbrush because that's pretty self-explanatory. Here I'm going to go ahead and distress. I'm just taking my sanding block that I got from Dollar Tree and I'm going over the words that are raised just to get rid of some of that paint, just to distress it. I love how this turns out. And here it is all completed. I added some greenery to the back and I just love how it looks. It's going to look great in the bathroom. So far, this is what the bathroom looks